Boy, oh boy, I was hoping I did not have to make this video. I saw a lot of UK YouTubers, I saw a lot of our UK brethren that watch boxing on a day-to-day basis. Were very happy when Eddie Hearn announced that he was moving to Sky Sports. And they said now we're not going to get any more biased shows. It's going to be more center. We're going to get guys who are going to talk about boxing and just boxing. But they failed to understand the root of the problem. They know what the problem is, biased commentating and the promotion of the channel completely favoring the home fighter. But the same exact setup followed to DAZN. Not just the same commentators and producers, no. Even the same concept followed to DAZN, if you know what I mean. What was the problem with Sky Sports? Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing were the exclusive promotion for Sky Sports. Like, it's not like Sky Sports was working in with Queensberry, Mick Hennessy, and Matchroom. No. They were working exclusively with Matchroom. HBO, even with its faults, they weren't working with a single promoter. They were working with Bob Arum, Golden Boy, two rival promoters, Kathy Duva, Main Event. They were working with the Canadian promoter who slips my mind right now, who used to promote Adonis Stevenson, Artur Beterbiev. They used to work with a lot of guys. That's why they were more straightforward, unbiased, however you want to call it. Showtime, prior to the PBC, they used to also work with so many promoters. They were unbiased. But when they became the PBC, they started having a very, very biased product. It's not like how it was before. Even though I believe Showtime is a million times better than DAZN with their broadcasting team, but the UK DAZN commentary has proven so far to be trash. Look, don't get me wrong, I love Maya Jama. She's a very, very, very beautiful lady. I wish her all the best. I love Laura Woods. I'm actually one of the few that like Tony Bellew. But the other day, during the Josh Warrington versus Mauricio Lara 2, it was just horrible. Look, I have no other way of explaining it other than it was just horrible. First of all, let's talk about the Conor Benn fight versus Adrian Grando's fight. And I thought Conor Benn clearly won the fight 97-93, 7 rounds to 3. But when Conor Benn would attack, they would say, oh, look, another good combo from Conor Benn. Oh, another good punch from Conor Benn. Conor Benn breaking down Adrian Grando's. But they would literally be quiet, complete silence with anything Adrian Grandos does. It's crazy to believe. How could you be this much of a snake? How could you be this much of a bias? How could you have zero conscience like that and literally rob this person from even the perception of the fans? Because commentating, it really does put an effect on the people's perspective. When you watch the fight, most people, when they hear the commentating, it affects their perception of what's going on in the fight. I heard a lot of people say that Adrian Grandos was in survival mode from the first round and Conor Benn won every round clearly. That's not what happened, folks, though. Conor Benn won clearly, but not every round clearly. Adrian Grandos had in round 8 a beautiful round when he went southpaw. I don't hear many people acknowledging that. I thought Adrian Grandos won rounds 3, 4, and 8. Where Conor Benn won the other 7 rounds. Then let's go to the main event. Because I only watched those 2 fights. I only covered those 2 fights. Didn't care for the rest. Josh Warrington versus Mauricio Lara 2. As many YouTubers have noted, YouTubers like G-Man Boxing and Blue Collar Sports, shout out to both. they both acknowledged that Josh Warrington cheated his way out of the Mauricio Lara rematch, because it was clear in round 2 that we were going to get a repeat. That Mauricio Lara is going to knock out Josh Warrington again, because Josh Warrington just didn't adjust enough. He didn't. Josh Warrington, I know he had his guard tighter and higher, but he wasn't jabbing and running. He should have put on a Sonny Edwards type performance. Just run. Get on your bicycle and run. In the UK, that's more than enough to get a decision. Do what you got to do and win. He wasn't prepared to do that. Many people attacked Anthony Joshua for quote-unquote running in the rematch against Andrew Ruiz. But guess what? He did what he had to do to win. Whether we didn't like the performance or not, he won that fight. Look, I hate fighters that run or stink the joint. But if you're going to get the W, look, I'm going to forget about it in a couple of weeks' time. But when you do that, when you cheat your way out of a fight, when you pull off a Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson clearly, to non-biased fans, they knew clearly that Mike Tyson was about to get knocked out against Evander Holyfield. And you can tell, Hatman Boxing, it's Hatman Strikes Back is his channel. Shout out to him as well. Acknowledged most of his videos, if you guys watch about Mike Tyson, in the stare down to all of his fights, would like to look at his opponent in the eyes, break him down mentally before the fight. The only time, and you guys can go watch that fight if you want to, the only time where Mike Tyson did not look into his opponent's eyes was in the Evander Holyfield rematch, where later on in round 3, he bit part of Evander Holyfield's ear off because he didn't want to get knocked out again. He chose to do a horrible thing in the ring, a very dishonorable thing in the ring, to bite a guy's ear off instead of getting knocked out again. Josh Warrington did the same. When he saw this fight was going to go as planned, he chose to headbutt his opponent so the referee can stop the fight. And Steve Gray warned him about it. And go rewatch that fight. It was from round 1. Mauricio Lara was complaining about the headbutts. It wasn't from round 2. It was from round 1. And he gave him a horrible cut. He's affecting this man's livelihood. Mauricio Lara is going to be out of commission from 12 to 18 weeks with that cut. He can't train, so maybe he can get a fight in 28 weeks' time, which is 7 months, 6-7 months. Like, he could have had a fight between that area before the other fight. And he's affecting Mauricio Lara financially, and he's affecting him physically, because that scar tissue is going to stay there for a while. And the DAZN commentary did not mention any of the things I'm mentioning right now. Other YouTubers, as I said, UK YouTubers, like Hatman, like Blue Collar Sports, like G-Man Boxing, shout out to them all. They all mentioned this. No one from the DAZN commentary mentioned this. You know why? Because it's the same exact concept as the Sky and the Matchroom relationship. Same exact concept. Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn, whoever you want to name, and Matchroom Boxing are the exclusive promoters in the UK for DAZN, just like how Sky Sports were exclusive with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. So I don't know what to say about this. I don't like it when it's one promoter has a hold on the channel, because then we'll never, or the promoter chooses who the commentators are, because Eddie Hearn is the boss for the commentators. It's not like how when it was Letterman, Roy Jones Jr., and Max Kellerman, when HBO is their boss. And they don't care what Golden Boy has to say. They don't care what Tom Prank has to say. They don't care about what main events have to say. HBO is their boss. They only care about what HBO has to say. It's not like that. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are the bosses. Like, even a guy, another UK YouTuber named Eddie Oladipo, who I was a big fan of, Boxing Talk with Eddie. I was a big fan. I've been a subscriber of his for a while now. He clearly changed after getting a job with DAZN. He wouldn't attack or wouldn't criticize Eddie Hearn and the DAZN fighters anymore when he was very hard on all people. He was a straightforward guy. He would criticize anyone that does anything wrong. He stopped doing that. I understand why, you gotta make your money, bro, but Eddie Hearn is the boss. It's not DAZN is the boss. DAZN has given Eddie Hearn $500-600 million. So they've already invested so much money to Eddie Hearn. There's no way in hell they're gonna choose any commentator over Eddie Hearn. It's not like with HBO. They had their guys from the beginning. They don't care about the promoters. This is different. The promoter's the boss. And it's going to stay this way no matter where Eddie Hearn goes. Because he looks for these exclusive deals that I don't know why channels do this. Like a channel like Sky Sports lost a lot when Eddie Hearn chose to leave. They shouldn't have lost this much if in the first place they were working with a bunch of promoters. They should have been working with Frank Warren. They should have been working with McKenzie. They should have been working with a boxer. BOXXER. All these UK promoters. Don't make it exclusive. I would never do that. But what do I know? I'm just a mechanic who has a boxing page on YouTube. These guys are the multi-millionaires. But not Sky Sports is going to pay for doing this exclusive deal. And us boxing fans are paying. We're not getting real boxing. Like, I don't get it why they're trying to turn this. Like, they got to rob everything. Conor Ben. You guys, nothing bad is going to happen if you guys just say, you know what? He did good. Adrian Grandes, a very old fighter who has 9 losses, did well. He needs more learning fights. No, this guy's just as good as Virgil Ortiz. This guy can beat Jaron Ennis. Bro, don't lie. When you hype these guys up, the higher you let these guys go, the harder their fall will be. There's no reason Josh Warrington should get away with what he did. It should be a DQ, not a technical decision. It should be a DQ victory for Mauricio Lara, not a technical draw. Or it should be a no contest. Like, I don't know what happened. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think that the DAZN commentary is any better than the Sky Sports commentary? Like and subscribe, please. And Sadiq Boxing out.